All right, we are live. We are going to interview now bench press extraordinaire. Move in a little bit to the camera.
Okay.
Jennifer Thompson. Jennifer actually lifted early this morning, and so she's going to actually fill us in on a little bit of her performance. So walk us through, what did you open with this morning?
I always open with double my body weight, so I opened with 276.
And how did the 276 go?
I flew up pretty good.
Okay, so what did you go to for your second attempt?
I did 303 on
so
my
you
sucker.
took a healthy jump?
I did. I always opened up pretty light.
Were you planning 303, or was the 276 so easy you went above?
Well, I knew if the 276 went pretty well, 303 would be all right.
Okay, so 303 was kind of the target number.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a 297 or a 303 based on how that opener felt.
Okay.
So I felt fantastic, and then the 303 went up like the easiest it's ever gone up in my life.
Wow.
So I was really excited. And so I went for on my third a 308, which my world record's 304.
Okay, so this was this a meet PR? You've never done this in competition?
Right. Okay. No, I was good. I felt so good. I was really going for it, and I missed that one.
Now, did you feel, since 303 went so good, like you just got out of the groove on 308 and you actually had the strength, or do you think just it took too much out of you doing 303 and coming back with 308?
Well, I think my right arm always lags a little bit. So I tried to shift my hand over a little bit, and I think I had it on my left side, not my right side. I
so
got
you
the
actually
left
locked out half.
I looked at the left. So I think the problem was I needed to shift it just a bit more. I think I had the strength for it today, which was a little disappointing.
Was your plan all along 303 and then 308?
Yeah, if I was feeling good, yeah. And I felt great today. So.
Well, they just handed me a note that you won the raw and equipped class. So how does that work? Did you lift twice? Did you do 6 attempts? Or you just lifted without a shirt and were so strong you beat the benchers?
Right, exactly.
Okay, for those of you watching, that means she competed without a bench shirt and beat everybody who had a bench shirt on.
Yeah.
So let me ask, what was second place with the bench shirt? Do you know?
I don't even really know.
Okay, because I wasn't here this morning, so I don't know either. But that's pretty impressive because, in fact, I'd go so far as to say I don't think there's anyone in this competition who'd be able to do that, men or women. There've been some in history, like James Henderson, but there haven't been very many. So that's fantastic. So now, since you lifted without the shirt here, you obviously qualified for the Open Bench Press Worlds.
Yeah.
Are you going to go to the Open Worlds without a shirt, or would you put a shirt on, or would you not do that competition?
Right now, I'm not slated to. I'm planning on going to South Africa for the 3-lift Open Worlds for
Okay,
Raw.
so you also made the Raw Open World
Right.
team, so you want to be able to obviously compete in that.
Yeah.
Now, South Africa, that's quite a trip. Have you ever been to South Africa?
No, and it's
What city
quite
is it?
lengthy. Johannesburg, yeah.
I've actually been 3 times to South Africa. I only lifted once, but I coached there. It's a fantastic trip. It's a long trip, and it'll take a lot out of you, but it's one of the coolest places you'll ever get to go to. You're going to get to see some wild animals. I mean, really, like you'll get to go on safari, so make sure that you plan whatever you need after you lift, and you probably lift early, right?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm lifting
so
in the first, second days,
Do a wild safari. You'll have a great time there. Now, we have some questions from our Ustream viewers, so let me ask you a few more questions. One of the questions obviously fits with you. How much of your workout routine is raw? Since you competed raw today, did you even put a shirt on at all training for this meet?
No, I thought about it. I watched my husband do it, and then I decided I didn't want to do it.
Her husband, by the way, for those of you watching, Donovan Thompson, went 3 for 3 and had a great finish.
He sure did.
And really hit a nice third bench, by the way.
I wanted to, but you know, I was really kind of dialed in on wanting to get that 308 today, and this meet was actually just a few weeks after the Raw Nationals.
What did you bench at the Raw Nationals?
I think I just did 297.
But that's, of course, after squatting.
That was after squatting.
Was that 297 a max, or did you have more left in you?
No, I think that was it. I think that was it for the day, yeah.
But after squatting, that's, I mean, you're within, what is that, 2% maybe of your best. That's fantastic. So. Now, what's the most you did in training leading to this meet? Like, what would have been your top single or double or whatever you normally get to?
Yeah, I hit 305 single, and I hit it pretty smoothly. Pretty easily, so I thought that I'd be good for the 308. I think I was good for the 308. I think I made a technical error today.
Now on the 305, is there any difference that you're not putting a shirt on? Is your body weight any different? Were you at the same weight when you did that workout?
It's about the same.
So it's not a significant weight loss.
No, the weight class I'm in went from 132 to 138.
Oh, so you're one of the people who benefited.
I did benefit.
Stole my weight class.
I
so
did.
No,
I was always really struggling to keep that 132, so this fits nicely for me. So I'm actually very grateful.
So 138's the limit. What do you typically let yourself get to, like
about
training-wise?
136, 137. I was 137 today.
Oh, so you literally don't cut any weight.
Not really, no. And since I used to just bench press, you know, and then I started doing the 3 lifts. And since I've been doing the 3 lifts, I've put on more weight. So
yeah, that'll do it. The squat deadlift to you.
You probably can't tell, but my legs have gotten a little bit bigger.
It'll do it to you. Well, as someone who likes to do all three, bench pressing is a lot more fun and a lot easier. So I'm surprised somebody was able to convince you to do the full beats.
Well, yeah, it is. You know, and I didn't realize how easy bench only was until I've done all those 3 leg meets. And today, like, I was just excited about today because it was so much fun, and there wasn't the squat. I worry about the squat a lot, so there was no pressure.
More stressful.
And it's my favorite event, so you know. So it was actually a lot. I really enjoyed today.
Well, it's your favorite event and it's your best event,
right?
So it's less stressful.
Exactly.
Yeah, the squat. Well, I was able to. The only reason I did a few bench nationals was just because my bench got good enough where I could do it.
Right.
And I would consider it a weekend off because the bench is the lift you rest in the full meet.
Right.
And the benchers were all crazy. And I was like, you should do a full meet just to learn how much easier this is.
Well, it's really it's a different group of people. It's really kind of like a do or die thing. You know, you get 3 lifts.
There is a little bit more of that
There's
attitude.
no making up in the squat or the bench press or the deadlift at the end. You know, you can't. I mean, it's really like it's an all for nothing sort of attitude. And especially when you throw those bench shirts in there, and the way they fit and where you put them on and stuff, it really is more of a gamble kind of event than the other ones, I think.
We saw that today.
Yeah.
Now, most people who use the bench shirt, and I'm one of these, get a tremendous amount out of it, but my experience is the really strong, true strong raw benchers actually don't get as much because the shirt actually throws your groove off, so you almost work against it. What's the most you've ever done in competition with a bench shirt?
330. I think it was 331.
So about 28 pounds you've got? 303 is your best
Something like
raw.
that. I think back then, though, I mean, it's been a few years, so I think back then I was probably doing 295, so I was probably getting 35-ish pounds. I think some of my thing is I have really long arms, too. So that bench shirt doesn't really help me out, as much as it does for, some of the shorter arm people.
Now, to blow away some of the people watching on video, tell me something you've done reps-wise. I'm sure in the off-season you could do something crazy. Like if you took, say, 225, have you ever done a rep set just to see?
Oh, yeah, I can do 12 to 15 on that. When I do my regular reps, like my training reps, I'm up at 270 for 5s right now.
Wow. Now, do you realize the NFL Combine, they use 225 pounds. There are NFL players who don't get 12 to 15 reps every year.
Yeah, my husband tells me that all the time.
Yeah. Well, I actually read a study once that only 1% of college-age men in the U.S., all men, not lifters, but all college-age men can bench 225 pounds, which is probably true because if you think most people don't even work out. So you're doing amazing, amazing weights. There's a few other questions on here. Do you have any advice for young bench pressers, somebody that's watching online, somebody that was kind of tuning in? What would be your points? I'm sure you could talk for hours.
Well, sure.
What would be the main ones?
Well, the bench press is probably, I think, one of the most technical lifts out of all 3, and I think a lot of people discredit leg drive in the bench. And really, just getting a great arch, not a crazy arch, but I try to get on the top of my shoulders. I use a lot of back when I throw it off my chest, so I use a lot of lat work. And I do a lot of leg drive. But I think mostly with any power lifter, the thing I think people always ask me, what sets you apart? And I think with just lifting in general is you have to live it. You have to live it. You have to sleep good. You have to eat good. I mean, you can have a lot of different training methods, but if you're not living it, somebody else is going to beat you. That's my philosophy anyway.
Well, that's what's probably gotten you to here.
I think so.
I could tell you at the point you're at, somebody's probably not going to beat you, even if you don't get a good night's sleep. Right. But that's what got you to this point because, the weights you're lifting, you wouldn't be there if you're not doing it.
I train very hard. Like when I work out hard. I'm sore the next 2 days, and I put 100% effort in. I don't miss a day ever. I'm just sort of like a machine about it, I think.
Now, how long have you actually been competing? What year was your first competition?
1999 was my very first one.
So you're at about, almost 15 years.
Yeah, I took a little bit of time off when I had my son. Not much, but about maybe 9 months or a year. I've had a couple injuries. I've had some knee surgery and a broken ankle and neck surgery.
Now, how old is your son now?
7 is the younger one.
So has he, even gotten to the point where he's wanting to, take even little weights off the rack?
Yeah, oh yeah, my older one's 9, and he's got his little routine. And then my younger one, I taught how to deadlift the other day with the bumper weights, and he rocked.
Well, the 9-year-old, you got to tell him there was an 11-year-old here that benched 143.
I know, that was pretty
Of course, your sons are going to have a pretty big name to live up to, so
maybe
they should be deadlifters.
Maybe,
so they don't have the pressure on them.
I really don't want them hitting hard till they're older, honestly, but 13 is our rule in the gym, but we let them mess around a little bit in there.
Yeah, because it's fun for them.
Because it's fun for them. It's like a big jungle gym.
They made me ask Lance Slaughter this question, and it actually fit perfect for him, and it fits perfect for you. Lance's case, it was his wife. So for you, it's your husband, Donovan. who is stronger, you or Donovan? And I didn't make the question up. I'm just asking.
Everyone
so
always
Donovan's
asks me
within
that.
the sound of my voice, I apologize.
I always feel bad for him. He's way stronger than I am. I think he benched.
He did 446 today.
He did 446. Yeah, he was going to go 450, and then he went 446. So he did pretty well. And raw wise, he's about 365.
So he's still got you.
He still got me.
Now in reps, can you catch him? Because you sound like you could do pretty good reps.
He reps with like 320. So you know, I'm not. But you know, I think because I've accomplished so much, people, you know. But you know, my husband's the biggest supporter. It doesn't bother him one bit when people ask him that.
He's also in his field, and as a coach, he's accomplished, you know,
a lot,
tremendous amount.
And he's actually accomplished a lot as a masters lifter.
Well, yeah, and looking at what he did today, it looks like he's still making gains.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, we have each other to work out with.
Now who trains harder? Since you said you train so
hard,
hard,
I would say me.
Does he ever miss workouts?
Not usually, because he's got to be there and do it with me anyway.
So it's really like the shame that he's not gonna not work out.
Right. When we have a bunch of high school kids that come down and lift with us now, so it even pushes me harder because I can't let those young guys, you know, be me.
Well, yeah, you must love to lift in front of the high school guys because a 300-pound bench press in high school is a big bench.
It is.
So
it is.
You're got to be out benching almost every high school kid you have.
Most of them.
I think I powerlifted in high school. I think I did 320 as a senior, and it was the second highest bench. And I played football. I mean, I was like 205 pounds. So 300-pound bench press, especially for a female, that's unheard of. We had a girl bench like 135 in high school, and that was a big deal.
Yeah, that is a big deal.
Well, we appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We hope that all the people out there got to learn some about you, and we look forward to being able to see you set some more records in the future.
I'd like to thank SSP Nutrition for being my sponsor, and Inzer Advanced Designs and Quest Nutrition. Appreciate all their sponsorship as well.
The sponsors that support
we need to support them. They're the basis and the foundation behind our sport, and we need to make sure that we're thanking them.
That's true. I always say if it wasn't for the sponsors and the meets, we'd all just be at the gym. There's no power.
That's exactly right.
If nobody's paying for all this stuff. I know I'm not paying for it.
Right,
all right. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.